Welcome back to Transport Fever 2 and our build around Lake Michigan. Last episode, we got the city of Chicago and pretty much this entire area. So Madison, Milwaukee, and Chicago all got their food supply satisfied. Some better than others. We'll take a peek at that today. Topic at hand today is going to be getting construction material to Chicago, and how we're going to do that. Gary is going to supply it, but Gary's going to need some stone, and the stone is going to come from South Bend. So both South Bend and Gary are going to need food and construction materials, as well as Chicago is going to need construction materials. So for supplying the construction materials to Chicago, Chicago is in turn going to hook up Gary and South Bend with food. And that is the plan for today. But let's go ahead and clean up some things from last episode. Madison's falling behind here. We do have a lot of trucks, so it's something that this route eventually might need to turn into a train station, but I do want to try to solve that without doing that. So we're going to come in here. We're just going to completely double the amount of vehicles they have. And let's take a look at this now. Chicago's looking good, but I wanted to take a look in here and see if there's a reason why the food's not getting satisfied. So we do have our food station here. It's touching all of those buildings, and some of them are missing out. So yeah, 2 here and some through there. So this one is just not spreading all the way. So I think it's time for a second stop in Chicago, and we will add that right there. And it looks like that will cover bricks and, well, a good amount of the bricks, and we'll probably preemptively just throw this one down here as well. But I want to go to Chicago's food route. Let's manage the line. Then we'll go from 13th, add another station, and we'll add it there on Davis Street. And to close that loop, I think we will help them with a little bit of development out here, as well as a little terraforming, because that's not gonna help Chicago right there. Let's go ahead and flatten a lot of this out. Spend a little bit of money because we want Chicago to boom and grow like it did in real life. Now let's come in here and grab a road, and we'll want this to be a city one. And we'll just go ahead and connect that like so and see what that did to our line. Well, they didn't loop, so they prefer turning around. So I believe we could come in here on buildings. Tools? Waypoints. Let's add a waypoint. Not that direction. We'll go there. Go ahead and delete that waypoint. And we'll manage this line. And we'll add a station at the waypoint. That'll get them to do that loop. I think that'll be better for traffic. But that should also, help out Chicago getting all of their needs filled when it comes to food. 92 out of 121. Looking okay. Let's go over to Milwaukee here, 116 out of 134. Let's do the same. And we had it in the middle there, and nope, it was down here, which doesn't quite get, it does pretty good. Yeah, it looks like 1 or 2 buildings aren't being satisfied, so I will throw that one up there and do the same thing with this line. We're gonna add a station there. That is gonna already do a loop, so we like that. And Milwaukee looking good. Now let's go to Madison. And they shouldn't be, they're growing too, man. Let's do the same thing here. Our stop's way at the bottom, and they did grow a little bit up this area. So let's go ahead and throw another stop right there and do the same thing. And we'll see how they manage that. Interesting that they're taking that route now. We'll let it play. We'll let it play. We'll see what's going on there. But Madison is definitely falling behind, and they're most of the goods that are stacking up here. Chicago's looking good, as well as Milwaukee. Let's see how our train station's doing over here. Everything's still processing like it should. And over here, this one, it's going to get back up and running as we add these new connections today. So to get this quarry online, we're going to want to build a road network. And we'll go with our medium road here. And let's just bring it straight out like so. And then we'll start going with the curved one and just kind of connect into this existing road. And we'll do some terraforming at the end of the episode to clean this all up, but that should get them nice direct connection between the two there. And we'll go into buildings and do our truck station, and we should be able to, wow, we can get pretty far here. We'll go right there. And is this a 2-to-1? It is a 1-to-1 relationship. So we'll see how this does when it upgrades and see how many different towns we can satisfy here. But then let's come in here as well with this, and we will make this a little bit bigger like we did with the food station. We'll put it directly across. I like that design that we did last time. And the next things we're gonna want is the truck stop in Gary, which at this point is going to cover everything. So we'll be able to do one truck stop there for all of that. Same with South Bend right now. And then Chicago, we did add that one already. Okay, so let's now start working on our lines. Do a new line from the quarry to the construction facility. We're going to call this Gary Stone. Then we'll do a new line from the stone to Gary. We'll call that Gary Construction. And then we'll do a new line from here to South Bend. And that will be South Bend Construction. And then we'll need one more line here. And this one, we're going to have to complete a road, and we're going to connect. We'll do that later on. We'll do similar to what we did last time. We'll do the depot here. And we'll have South Bend have their own depot. We'll bring it out here at the end of the city. Same with Gary. We'll put it right over here, but we're actually going to go ahead and demolish this. We don't want that to impede on the town growing. And we're going to go ahead and make sure that this is a, yeah, it already is. Okay, I was making sure that is a road that can be part of the town, but we'll probably get that highway system going sooner than later. So let's go ahead and start getting some of these vehicles purchased. Cargo, we're going to still go with any. We'll go with 2 right now. We're going to put these onto Gary Construction. We'll go into South Bend. We'll do the same thing. We'll start with 2. South Bend Construction. And we'll go here. We'll go with 4. And this is going to be Gary Stone. Instantly do see, well, let's pause it real quick. I want to start this a little better than we did last time. Let's manage the line. And we'll go at South Bend. We're going to go until full. And that will allow us to get a pretty decent start here. So this one's going to sit here and just kind of wait for this to produce. And that gives us, you know, just some time to get a good jump start over here. With getting the construction material plant all processed and ready to ramp up. As we'll have full trucks coming there the whole time. And, you know, like I said, it'll take a little bit of time for that to ramp up, but I think we'll be okay with that. So while that's going, let's go ahead and see. I think this might be the main road that we want to do, and this is going to be the first time we're kind of demolishing anything right now in this game, but we're going to do it. We're going to come out like that. One building's going to go away, and then let's transition this a little bit farther out. We'll transition into these highways here. Put a little bend in it. We're kind of pre-planning here by making this a larger one. We have a little bit of cash. We can go ahead and connect that. And I think right away, I want to find a spot for our bus stop. And if we do it on the main road, let's do it just off the side of the road there. Add a line from Chicago's bus station. We can do that same one still to Gary. We'll call this Chicago. And Gary are the ones that want to go to Chicago, so we'll have them buy the buses. We'll do 2 there, just to get that going. And I did that. Did I do that right? I think I did. Yeah, we did. So no one waiting yet, and we looks like we have, you know, a good balance on our Chicago to Milwaukee train right now. So that is good. But Chicago's up almost to 500 residents now, looking pretty solid. And how did our adjustment for Madison go? Much improved. Okay, Chicago food's fallen a little bit behind. Let's go ahead, and now that there's those stops, let's go ahead and double up on that. And we'll probably want to do the same thing with Milwaukee. Has a good amount already. But we'll see how that does for Chicago. And their food should be increasing. Milwaukee's is increasing. Madison's looking pretty solid. So now we got this going. It's got 2 consumers. We got South Bend and Gary going to be getting their construction materials before their food. But that is okay. And I already see something kind of like the way this is built into the wall or into the mountain. We'll see how the city grows. But yeah, already going to start seeing the increase. We're up to 260, seeing things grow here. Kalamazoo, we might need to get online as well here soon. But South Bend looking good. We probably want to do a connection between these two since they are partnering already. And let's go ahead and continue that same path that we were looking at as the main route here for Gary. I'll do the same thing. Let's go grab the city roads. We'll do the nicer one here. Kind of hug this mountain like we have been. Get a little farther there, then we'll transition to this highway. And I'm gonna have to bend around to South Bend. And I think I see a nice location for us to bring this into. Let's try to bring that, see how that, nope, let's not do that. Like so. Is that gonna do center there? It did. All right, so that brings that on. We'll do some terraforming later on. Let's also come in here and get a bus depot. Or a bus terminal here. Bus stop. Words are hard. And we'll do the same thing. We'll go ahead and add... right on this one, we'll do Gary to South Bend. And we'll use their cargo terminal, or cargo, what are these called? Cargo depot. To get a couple, we'll do 3 buses. No, we'll just do, well, we bought them. We'll use them. Gary to South Bend. We'll let that get going, but they already have their first skyscraper going on here. There's a bunch of residents living in it. Milwaukee's demanding fuel. Everything's processing good. We have 19 out of 76 going here. All right, now that this is up and running, let's see how this is backing up. Not terrible yet. Not terrible yet. So they're coming over here, doing pretty decent. This one's coming over here. We're starting to level up, so that's gonna get to the point where we need it to be. South Bend, we're gonna go ahead and instantly add 2 more vehicles here. You can see $39 million playing on easy. It's cake. It is absolutely cake. I love the way this game flows like this. All right, and Gary seems to be keeping up with theirs, but like I said, we are upgrading. We should see more things popping up here. 20 out of 92, just still a lot of demand to satisfy. And consumers right now, you can see they're not asking for all of what they need yet. Which that part of the game I don't understand. I don't know if that's just our ability. And that should change here. But looking good. So now this needs 200. And this guy should be starting to produce 200. So we should start falling behind here. And we haven't even got Chicago online yet. 122 is our rate. Let's try to get that close to 200. Knowing that we'll probably want it closer to 400 at some point. I'll be okay with it being at 280 right now, or 248 right now. And these guys are still waiting to be full. And we'll keep an eye on that, make sure it doesn't back up too much. This is great. Their public transportation up to 40, that's doing a great job here. They're probably wanting to hop all the way to Chicago because now you can jump to Gary, you can wait here and then go to Chicago. So this is really getting everything going really good. Yeah. Look, this is awesome. 559. Chicago has been growing and we haven't done anything to it yet today. Love it, other than add more people being able to travel there. All right, and here, Gary's starting to get a little bit behind, so we're gonna add just 1 vehicle here. And I'm wondering if we could do a little bypass right through here and get Chicago online. I think that would be an awesome little freeway system, a little loop there. And we're gonna start using these medium-sized ones because I have a feeling things are gonna start growing. We'll start coming in like this. And that should allow people to bypass Gary if they wanna go that way in the future as well. But let's go ahead and get that line going that we wanted to earlier. Here to there in Chicago. And this is gonna be Chicago Construction 1. And we're gonna add 5 right away. Chicago Construction. That's gonna get them online. And we're already upgrading again at the construction plant. This is perfect. And there it is. All right, we're starting to get the construction goods piling up for Chicago. Gary is absolutely backing up. We'll keep an eye on that for a little bit. And as Chicago's starting to get their construction materials in, this 10% is gonna start increasing. We're gonna get close to 600 already. This is awesome. Town is blowing up. It's having a glow up. Milwaukee would be nice to get those as well. Madison doesn't need them yet. Gary to Chicago has a little bit of a backup. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Manage vehicles. Let's go ahead and double that. Looking great. Let's go to Milwaukee and see how its transportation's doing. Not terrible. I think they could go for one more. 1,200? That's what this gets up to? If we want to do a quick train, I think we do. We want to do another terminus like we did last time. And then we'll start working on getting the food that we promised South Bend and Gary. What we didn't do last time was come in here and manage this. I'm going to go ahead and grow this as far as it'll let me, because 1,200 is a good amount. And actually, I think that's probably far enough. And we'll go to cargo. We'll go to platforms. Boy, all these mods. And we'll just add these in here. And I don't see any reason for more than one track, so we'll just do this, oops, on both sides. I'll fix that in a minute. So that should be an absolute beast of a terminal holding a ton of goods. And the same over here. We're going to actually replace these with high speed because we'll be able to use them eventually. All right, let's make this line. A little new line from here to here. We're just gonna call this Gary Construction Train. And for this, we'll go ahead, I think we'll go with that same one. I do like that, even though we've gotten some upgrades. The Alco PA. And for cargo, we're gonna want the gondolas again. And we'll go with a capacity of almost 200. It's going to be a $21 million train. And I'm instantly going to add 2. Then we need to assign them to a line. And it's already piling up. So we'll come over here, do the same thing we did before. We'll manage vehicles. I'm going to just grab a couple of them and sell them. And it should start shifting all the goods over here. And, you know, preemptively, let's go ahead and sell all the vehicles. That was short-lived. Manage the line, go ahead and get rid of it. And demolish. So only 500, but we can do 1,500. So we're definitely going to be able to do full capacity when it's needed. Coming over here looking at this, only going to be picking up 72, but this is going to grow with us. And we're in a financial situation where I don't think it's a concern. And the auto signals, I think we're going to... yeah, just add a couple more here just to get these things rolling a little bit better. Should stop and wait there, but I think we'll be able to move a little bit better now that I added those extra signals in. Can hold 200, but only going to have about maybe 90 right here. 101, so we're about there. Now it's not stopping. It's going to keep on cruising. Let's see if we're non-stop with these two trains. Almost. I think we could get away with another signal right there and get that non-stop. And this one's only going to get about 79, 82. Now, because of the distances, we might get these stopping no matter what, and that'll be fine. Yeah, I think we'll be able to live with that. And this line's still at it's at 1,000, so that's not quick enough. Could add capacity. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Chicago is backing up. Let's go ahead and manage vehicles here. We will double those. This might also demand, well, this shouldn't have been a terminus then. We might have back-to-back terminuses here because we might want to actually send a train into Chicago for these construction materials if we can't keep up with them. And then South Bend as well. We'll double their vehicles and see how that goes. I'm going to give this a little bit of time to roll, see how we're doing. And this is going to be close to getting upgraded again. I wasn't sure we would get to something like this, but I am going to start pre-planning the cargo station here in Chicago. And we're going to put it up here. Let's go ahead and I think I can hit shift. Yeah, kind of get this lined up a little bit better with this highway. And we are going to have a road network that brings this into town. And we should be, I'm not sure if we'll use all of them, but we should be able to swing by here that direction. And most likely, I think we're going to put a smaller one with just 2 in Gary. And I I think we're just going to deal with it. It is going to back up to this. Yeah, we could be smooth and connect this here. Oh, but we'd have to go the other direction. We'd have to have it like that. I don't want that. So we'll find a way to get the goods there. But this should allow this to transfer to South Bend. This is going to swing around to Chicago. I am going to start making this and getting this rolling. All right, things are looking pretty good here. It has grown up. You know, it's at 5. It can do 500. It's got to get more shipment going for it to be able to actually do that. And then over here, this is backing up a little bit too. So what we're wanting to do is get food delivered to this station here. Then we're going to send food from here to Gary and temporarily to South Bend. We might put another train here, but I think that's going to be overkill for now. So what I want to do is get the food line going first. So we'll go into lines. We're going to go from the food processing all the way to our terminal here that's going to feed our cargo terminal. So this is going to be Chicago Food Outbound, I'm just going to call it. And I think for aesthetics here, we're going to add a bus depot right here. And we're just going to grab a bunch of these. Right now we're just going to do 10. And this is going to be outbound food. So it's going to go start picking up food. It's not going to have a demand yet because it's not recognizing it. But we're going to come over here and do the same thing. We're going to add a line. Well, not the same thing, but similar. And let's make sure we have a spot here first that'll satisfy food. And I think if we'd go, wow, we're going to need 3 already here. We'll do that. Should have picked up that little one there. But this one, and we'll add station. We're just going to hit all of these truck stations here. Unfortunately, it is going to have to loop back. We might fix that at some point. But let's just go ahead and call this Gary Inbound. We're just going to give it that name. And we'll add they have their own. Yeah, this would be fine. This will be fine here. We're going to do the same. We're going to congest it a little bit, but that'll be all right. Now, in theory, food should start coming here, but we need this line to go from Chicago to Gary. And it's short. It is a short one, but I think it'll be worth it long term. So we're going to call this Chicago to Gary train. And we'll go with our same train. But this one's going to need to be able to do food, so we're going to add box cars. We'll start with 3 box cars. And then it's also going to want, I think at some point, it's going to be bringing some bricks over to Chicago. So a couple gondolas. Nope. We're going to need the flat cars for that. And we'll do 3 of those. And we're just going to start with 1. We'll do that, get that rolling. And then we'll also, I think we will do this road that we were talking about. Kind of a huge loop because of this mountain, but let's go to streets. We'll add this up this way. And just because this road's here, let's go ahead and connect those. Make that look a little bit better though. And then we're just going to send this smaller one all the way out to that highway. And we'll let that route decide if it really wants to do that loop or not. But this I think this transportation kind of makes sense, and Gary can start growing up on this hill as well. So if we did this right, we should start seeing over here. It's not yet. It's not yet. We'll see if we did this right though, because I have a feeling we didn't. But if we do a line from here and loop around these Chicago trucks, we don't need the second upper. We could have them come back and forth as well. We'll call this Chicago inbound. And we're just going to spend 1 until we know this is working. So if we go here and go consumers, Gary is asking for 43. So that should be working. We should start getting some food over here. And this inbound line doesn't have anything on it yet. Consumers definitely showing up. 0 transportation. Now, are we not feeding you enough all of a sudden? We have a little bit of a backup here. That's fine. Chicago's demanding fuel now. Yeah, their demands are going big time. What is happening over here? You are still not on the line. Why is that? Did we mess up something with this line here? It's not connected anymore all of a sudden. How did that happen? We'll get this fixed. This is gonna improve so much. We'll go here, add station. We'll add there. We'll go ahead and remove that station and demolish that. And instantly we're seeing a demand here. Okay, this is gonna fix our problem. I'm gonna go ahead and configure this to be a little bit bigger, and we're gonna let them use either platform here. Absolutely rocking and rolling, and that thing's already trying to upgrade. Perfect. Okay, so now over here we'll start getting goods going, and this should probably see another upgrade today. And we did see some Chicago outbound, and we have 8 food waiting. And to get this really rocking and rolling, we put this line in here. We call this construction outbound. So I'm just naming this outbound because they're going to send it to wherever it needs it because of the way we're doing this. And we'll go here, and for that we'll go ahead and we'll add 4 to start with. Construction outbound. Now eventually that should be able to replace the Chicago construction. And we can already see construction outbound, so they're going to start getting some goods there. And we should be able to come over here and see food is piling up. 16. Good, 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 good. Let's look at our line health. We got a lot negative. Madison food all of a sudden is running negative. And I have a feeling that's because we weren't getting everything we need here, which is starting to improve. So this thing's already upgraded. We're probably going to end up putting a train on this eventually. But let's go ahead and just duplicate that a couple times. And they did not decide to come out of here. They're coming out of Chicago, so they'll get there. They will get there. And we can also help them out by upgrading this road. And I like the look of the bigger one, so... Oh, not possible. Not possible. The smaller one will be. We'll get that fully upgraded to be paved. Here comes the cavalry. And we should get a little bit of a backup, but it's definitely... You know, they're going to use both sides, so this is going to get resolved pretty quick here. And I'm going to pause it because I do want them to wait till they're full. And that will... It should in turn start spreading them out a little bit. And instantly we're starting to get an upgrade here. And everything should start improving. Nice. Chicago outbound looking good. You know, once this huge cycle starts coming in, I have a feeling the stored will stay where it needs to be, because it is dropping down, trying to upgrade, dropping down, trying to upgrade. It's just still not completely feeding it yet. And it would be nice to be able to tie into this train, but I don't think we're really set up for that right now. We're already going to be struggling to get out of this area to get the train. Probably will hug the highway when we need the train to leave Chicago to head to Milwaukee. All right, that full upgrade did happen now. They should be expecting 600 at this point. All right, well, I got a little carried away off camera. We had a success here. You can see Chicago probably looks a little different. We did expand a few of these or upgrade a few of these roads, but we've got a traffic issue when we click on here. The stations are looking okay. We can still improve that, but mediocre traffic. They got a lot of emissions because of that. I did add a couple waypoints to get these outbound food for it to go around this way instead of cutting through town. But next episode, we're going to take a look at restructuring the road layout in Chicago. We're going to look at these routes here, get them going probably a little more efficient. I have an idea we'll talk about next episode. But the achievement today was getting our quarry online in South Bend, sending it on over to the construction material plant in Gary, and getting construction materials for South Bend, Gary, Chicago, and Milwaukee all up and running. And in turn, Gary got some food, and so did South Bend. In South Bend right now, 708 residents, looking pretty much like one of our biggest towns right now. That's 708. Gary's got 749. Gary's huge. Gary did well. Chicago's fallen a little bit behind at 720. Milwaukee at 576, and Madison at 449. I'm Chris. Thanks for hanging out on What Chris Plays. I'll catch you on the next one.